half the track now and be all over this stage.
Roger.
First sergeants, are we up? Are we good? All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. How's everybody doing today? All right, I've been in the trenches here with you two. I'm ready to get briefings done. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sergeant First Class Meza. I'm a platoon sergeant with Bravo Company. If you don't see me during drill weekend, it's because I drill out of Alcantara. Monday through Friday, I'm your P guy. I'm your drug testing coordinator. So, I'm responsible for all the UAs and your UPLs. Sergeant Oliver. Can we give Sergeant Oliver a round of applause real quick? He's been doing an excellent job as a UPL. I couldn't get him to Hawaii this last summer, but I'll try to get him there when we come back from deployment because he's doing an excellent job. So. Anyways, today I'll be providing you guys with your sharp brief. If you were here, like Sergeant Major Nyquist said earlier, it's kind of deja vu, right? We did this a little while ago. So I can't surprise you with any new tricks, and I can't take you outside, and we're not going to play with marbles, and it was fun last time, right? But I do have a couple videos for you, okay? And hopefully that'll get you through the presentation. But sharp. Right? It's going to be we're not going into combat, guys, right? Can we all agree on that? Right? This isn't Afghanistan, this isn't Iraq. So with that said, I'm taking this. So how many victim advocates do we have here? I know of a couple. Who do we have? Raise your hand. We have Sergeant Kerlock and, who's that back there? Captain Kelly? Okay, so right now, from my knowledge, we have 3 victim advocates in the battalion. I feel that on this deployment, this training is critical, right? It's critical. There's gonna be a lot of times during the deployment where you as soldiers and leaders can take the correct action, right? In preventing incidents pertaining to sharp, right? You guys can end it. You guys can make Sergeant Major Weimer's life a lot easier. You can make Colonel Scott's life a lot easier, and then we can focus on doing what Sergeant Gutierrez said, getting swole, right? And going on our passes, right? Going skiing, going sightseeing, doing all the fun stuff, right? Working and then having a little bit of fun if the mission permits it, right? But guess won't let us do that. It's these incidents here, right? When it comes to sharp, it degrades the unit, it degrades morale, right? And it doesn't allow us to function and be mission ready, right? It degrades readiness, okay? So no, we don't have IEDs and RPGs being shot at us, and right? But it's a different kind of threat. The dynamic changes, right? What is happening over there in Kosovo, right? Some of the liberties that we have, right, are a lot different than in Iraq and in Kuwait. So we may find ourselves in situations, right, social situations, that these issues may come up, right? And you guys heard the cheesy, like, not in my squad. It's kind of cool. I think it's relevant, right? It's very relevant in preventing these things from happening. If you guys haven't noticed, Ms. Thiel this morning was talking about substance abuse, and Sean Rawl was talking about suicide prevention. So the Army has moved away from making it's still mandatory, but it's basically at the commander's discretion. It's supposed to be taught at the lowest level, suicide prevention and substance abuse, to whatever amount of time. So if I sit my squad down or my platoon down and I talk about substance abuse and suicide prevention, the Army says you're good. So I feel that sharp training, right, squad leaders, team leaders, you guys are at the forefront of that, right? We don't need to do company level training. We don't need to do battalion level training, right? But if you guys understand the principles of sharp, right, and how to prevent those incidents, we're gonna be extremely successful downrange, okay? So basically the way this presentation is gonna go, we're gonna watch a video, It's a pretty good video. Work through the first few minutes, but then it's good, right? It's good. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna pause the video. And then we're gonna talk about what is happening. Yes, you guys will make jokes and kind of take longer than we need to, but let's really kind of dive into what's happening in the video. Talk about how identifying things, right? We're not gonna all agree, right? So I'm not doing this presentation so we can argue. I'm doing this presentation so that we can have an open conversation when it comes to SHARP. What is a mandatory thing for NCOs? What is a mandatory thing that goes into our NCOER?
SHARP boy.
SHARP. Okay, I don't know about you guys. I like having nice NCOERs. I like having stellar NCOERs, and I don't want to have a SHARP violation. So we're going to talk about how to prevent that, okay? So like I said, we're going to watch the video. I'll pause it. We'll talk about it. If you guys aren't giving me good answers, we'll take long, and then we'll do the 70 slide presentation. That's what that is right there. I don't want to do that, okay? I don't teach like that. What else? Cool, that's all I got. I'll try to pass around the mic if I can. If not, use your your outside voice and answer questions, and we'll get this presentation done. Cool? All right.
Hi. Allow me to introduce the reason for all this grief. The constant preaching and redundant teachings. I guess your leadership figures that if you constantly train, then eventually you'll be able to tame me. That's a large feat. I'm the SHA in your SHARP program. I'm the ulcer in the belly of your organization. I'm the degradation of your 7 core values. I'm the bane of your SARC's existence. I'm the real deal. You're just child's work. I am the strongest army on earth, and ironically, my recruits, their forces from your armed forces. See, I force discord between brothers and sisters in arms, and forewarning, I'm swarming your ranks at alarming rates. Any day, I'm less than double arms distance away. All it takes is for us to be at close intervals and for her to be dressed right, wearing something tight or something short so it lets me know that she's open for my type of attention. See, she joined so she can be a part of something she can be proud of. I'm sure her parents, they thought that she would be safe amongst your ranks, but I'm the paw print crawling up your daughter or your little sister's inner thighs while she's in her sleep. I enter her room so I can enter her womb. See, alcohol normally increases my success rate. These 2 dudes, they saw me drag her, they saw me walk her in, and neither of them said a word. See, their nonchalantness is the reason I'm so accomplished. They may as well be my accomplice. Intervention is my kryptonite. I would be invincible if it wasn't for nosy battle buddies bold enough to put their noses into my business. The only person with a chance of stopping me is a bystander who's willing to uphold the standard. But as long as he continues to stand down, then I'll continue to stand up and raise the stats up. And oh, by the way, let your EO rep know I'm all for equal opportunity. I don't discriminate. I operate within seniors and subordinates alike. See, I was saw as a major issue once your sergeant majors were issued walking papers for taking parts in the likes of me. That's when I knew I hit the big leagues. I love to ride the coattail of the higher ranking personnel. I'm a pro at quid pro quo. In my simplest form, I come by way of a slide comment or a compliment with a drizzle of sexual content. I'm rampant throughout your workplace. I hide my face behind jokes and jargon like, well, that's what she said. In a second, I see you smile and you fail to correct me. I'm gonna place the crosshairs across your head, and I'm gonna cross you next time that we cross paths. And contrary to popular belief, yes, men are also a preference for me. I've been able to assault, I've been able to talk at least 1 in 6 into unwanted sex, and most aren't man enough. Most are too man to admit it, so I'm able to operate in iniquity without penalty. See, an assaulted man's ego is badly bruised, but it's still too huge to seek assistance, so the heinous act just sits in the system and eats away at him like cancer. There's no chance of assisting a man who insists on keeping me inside in his little secret. Most think that I'm nocturnal. I'm not. I knock whenever opportunity suits me. I'm normally suited in a familiar face. I've heard some say that about 8 in 10 military women have met me, but only 3 in 10 will admit it, probably because they're afraid that she'll think they're the reason why the crime is committed. Because you make comments like, well, that's what happens when you wear those rape clothes. When you walk, says I'm willing to let you assault/harass me against my will. And everyone knows that permission and promiscuous is paternal twins. You can't blame him if she was out after 1 a.m. It's common knowledge that all body parts are up for grabs after midnight. She met me because she kept a grown man parked in a friend zone for too long, when she knew all along all he wanted to do was break his parking brake off in her. She should have known better than to trust someone who called themselves a friend. And let me give you some other reasons why she didn't report. She didn't report it because the last time she was the subject of something similar, she was subject to questioning like she was the prime suspect. She didn't know. She had no clue that harassment was punishable by finger points. She said they held enough fingers in her face to outfit a million hands. She learned that her shorts would be called to the stand as a cotton material witness to testify against her, that her legs were out after midnight. She learned that in the land of the free, harassment was punishment for having the nerve to choose your own wardrobe. She learned that she could be convicted of having an enticing figure. Now go figure. Assaulters were people just like you. And we don't deserve to be tempted. In case you hadn't shifted, I'm sexual harassment assault. And if you don't learn to control me, I'll continue to be the oasis of hate surrounding your rings. I'm the new age form of fratricide. I'm the sum of division. And you'll never be able to solve me if you don't stick together. I'm a combat minimizer. And until you learn to defeat me, you'll never be able to defeat your country's enemies. I want to thank you for your ongoing support.
All right. So I don't know about you guys, but like the hairs on the back of my neck and arm, they stand up when I watch this video. I think it's a very impactful video. It speaks the truth, right? It speaks the truth about the problem that we have, not only in the Army, right? DOD, in all branches of service. So when I attended my victim advocate course in Texas, which was amazing, it was in Austin, Texas, I had to hang my ego up. Right? I had to hang my ego up and kind of like just learn. What are they trying to teach us, right? And it really opened my eyes to a lot of things that happen out there, especially people sharing stories. And who thinks shark and sexual harassment and rape is a woman problem? Raise your hand. Okay, good. You guys get a silver star on that, gold star. It's not, right? It's a human problem. It's a person problem. It's not an army problem. It's not a soldier problem, right? It's a human problem. Okay, so how many females do we have in the room right now? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, back there that didn't raise their hand. So we have 8 females. How many males do we have in this auditorium right now? Males, put your hands up. All right. Okay, you can put them down. Specialist Stolly. Come up here for a second. Is that okay? You mind? Okay, cool. When it comes to Sharp and being outnumbered, maybe, who's smart? Where's Russo at? Russo, give me a rough estimate. Give me a ratio of males to females. So we have like, what, 8? We'll call it 10. And we'll say, who's readiness? What do we have, like 200 people? 200, 300?
220 something, I think.
So give me a ratio, Russo. Male to female.
About, what, 20 to 1 almost?
20 to 1. Let's go up here on stage because this might. We have a 20 to 1 male to female ratio. Specialist Stolly, going on this deployment and knowing what you know about Sharp, how do you feel?
Fine. I mean, I'm sure everyone's going to be respectful, and I trust everyone. Things do happen, but I'm sure everything will be fine.
Do you feel, do these numbers intimidate you at all in any way, shape, or form? Okay. Let's give Specialist Stolica a round of applause. Do we have another female that would like to say how they would feel with these numbers? You don't have to, it's not a big deal. I'm just trying to prove a point here, have conversation. So I don't know about you, but if I were a female, these numbers, and I know she's being a tall and proud soldier, right? But these numbers would be a little bit intimidating. I'll just tell you that right now, okay? What I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen, is that she has 100% faith and trust in the organization, right? In our integrity as soldiers and leaders, right? But incidents, right? Deployment, 6 months in, 5 months in, 8 months in, people get comfortable around each other. People say inappropriate comments, right? So we have a location, No Name Hill, is that right? Or No Name, what?
Nothing.
Camp Nothing?
Nothing Hill.
Nothing Hill, right? So the platoon that's going to be out there, they may develop a culture of saying inappropriate, sharp comments, right? We get some of the females in our platoon, or I'm sorry, in our battalion to come visit us. So if we had a culture of 6 months of saying the wrong thing, right? Are we going to shut it off? Be honest.
No.
Be honest. We're not. We're probably not gonna shut it off, right? Because we've developed this culture of saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing. It's been 8 months, Specialist Stolly. You know I'm gonna say something when you go visit the cop, right? Am I lying? You're laughing back there. Am I lying though?
Nope.
Let's have a discussion, folks. Am I lying?
No.
No, right? So it starts now. It starts here, right? Anybody in Bravo Company or that knows me knows that I'm always sharp. That's what she said. Sharp. Right? And I say that to kind of be a little funny, right? But also to show not only my subordinates but my peers, right? That what you're saying is inappropriate. And it just takes sometimes a little bit of that, right? Just a tiny bit of that comment, right? To lead from the front, lead by example, and say what you're saying right now is not cool. That's it. You don't need to, you always have options of making formal complaints and whatnot and getting with a sharp victim advocate, right? But just, hey, not cool. Don't say that. Hey, Sergeant such and such, inappropriate. We're in a room full of whoever. right? Is everybody with me on that? Okay. All right. So, we have a little conversation about Sharp. We're going to watch this video. It's kind of a cool video. It's a skit, and it was put on by MPs. I know, right? MPs. However, caveat, they're paratroopers. So, makes them a little better. All right? They're MP paratrooper company out of Italy. Okay? Pretty cool video. I like it. Be prepared to answer some questions. All right? All right.
Good morning, how are you? Let me stop saying I am so sorry that this happened to you and that we had to meet on these circumstances. Can I offer you a Kleenex? What can I do for you this morning?
I just don't know what happened. I didn't think it would happen to me.
Hey guys, guess when you get back? We should go to a bar.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
We should have the whole squad go. What do you think, Sergeant Richards? You in?
I don't know. What time are y'all leaving?
What's when we get released?
Dude, I need to take a shower first. Oh, come on guys, pack up the Humvee. Let's get out of here.
Right, sir.
I think I'll go.
Somebody has to open it from the outside. Put it right.
Come on.
I'm ready to get some Chinese food before we hit the bar, huh? You coming?
Hey, hon.
Hey, babe.
How are you? How's Missy?
She has an ear infection and had one for a couple of days now and has been running a fever.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need anything?
No, it's okay. Do you want us to bring you some food, though?
No, thanks, babe.
Okay. It was good to hear from you.
You too, babe. I love you. I'll see you when I get home.
Okay. Bye.
All right, y'all. Let's go home. You ready for tonight, Sergeant? See you guys. See you guys. To the good night. To the good night.
Hey, Sergeant Romero, go ahead.
Hey,
Pause
guys.
it.
Can I join you?
Yes, Sergeant. Sure, best quality in the company.
Sergeant Romero, go ahead. Pause
Yeah,
it.
look, your house.
All right. So, up until the bar point, what are our observations? Nope, that's bar scene, right? So you already messed up. Lying? Okay, what does lying, what is the, who cares? What does that have to do with Sharp? Sharp is not a, who cares? What is the relevance of Sharp to lying to Sharp program?
At this point, absolutely nothing.
Thank you, right? Can we all agree with that? I don't know, do you guys agree, disagree? So what does lying, you guys all shouted out she was lying. What does lying have to do with anything pertaining to Sharp? character? What do you mean? Because of someone's character, let me understand this. Because of someone's character, they should be raped or sexually assaulted? Or they're going to be rapers? Or what? I don't know what that means.
A little leaven leavens the whole loaf. You give it, a little lie is just as bad as a big lie. So if you open yourself up to...
What does that have to do with sexual assault, sexual harassment?
At this point, it would seem nothing, but...
Okay, can we all? Sergeant Wall, sound off.
I'll take a stab at this. Just
Stand up so everybody can hear you.
so, just trying to put it in a short context. Maybe she lied to her husband because, knowing about the SHARP program, she might think, oh well, I really intend to only just be going out with my troops, but I don't want him to think there might be, that there might be some issue, or because of a, preconceived negative connotation of, a single female, well not single, she's married, but female by herself going out with 3 men. So maybe she just thought it'd be easier to lie.
Okay, good. Well put. And gentlemen, ladies, let me know if you agree with this. Do you feel that you have to lie in order to justify yourself spending time with friends in order for someone not to think that you're going to be raped or sexually harassed? It is, right? It's a very complicated question because it's a very complicated assumption that lying has anything to do with SHARP, right?
Not necessarily.
Passing gas, that has something to do with SHARP. What? How? Well, with knowing SHARP, I don't want anyone to get offended that I was sexually harassing them because I passed gas. What? You guys see where I'm going with this, right? Okay.
Now,
Stand up, stand up.
when it comes to SHARP in this aspect, she already lied straight off the back. And the only person I'm getting at is, well, if you lie to your husband saying you stay at work, and then that's your first cover up right there. Now,
Cover up for what? For getting sexually assaulted and sexually harassed?
And maybe you may not be going down there. You may be going down there for a different intent. Maybe somebody already likes someone. Don't know, you never know. Just on a good time. Whatever the case may be, that could be, you don't ever go down there to get so fit. But if something doesn't go the way she wanted to, from where I'm standing at, it could be.
I think some of us may be missing the point, right? And we're gonna move on. Lying has nothing to do with the SHARP program. Okay? All right. So what else? What else? What are some of our observations that we've seen so far? What else? Let's knock them out real quick. Nope, that's at the bar scene. She's a bad mom? How do you know that, Price? How do you know she doesn't want to see us TikTok? What does being a bad mom have anything to do with sexual harassment and sexual assault? Nothing. All right, we're going to continue. Sergeant Romero, go ahead, press play.
Yeah, someone's having a little too much fun over there. Listen to that guy.
Well, 45 days in the field, you gotta loosen up somehow.
Yeah. Bartender, another round of shots, please? Yeah, I got it.
Hey, bartender, can I get a ball buster?
Ball buster?
Yeah, have you ever had one?
Can you say that?
Try it sometime.
Thank you.
Oh, come on. Whatever. How you guys doing?
Sorry, get that 45 days out of the way.
Yeah, you guys did real good in the field.
Hell yeah, man.
You did real good. I was watching you out there digging a trench, breaking a sweat.
I do what I do.
If you do real good tonight, I'm looking to give you that waiver. Start out with 3 or 4 of them.
I think you can do that at home.
I mean, you have good PT. ski and all, but I could give you that for no extra.
You wanna go outside for a bit? Yeah, man. Yeah, totally. Anytime. I'm ready out. Have a nice night.
Come on, I'll be out for promotion.
All right, buddy. Come on. Come on. You're a little too drunk now.
Hey Richards, Cody's going back to the barracks. Let's Netflix hang out. You wanna come? Animaniacs.
I don't know.
Who doesn't love the Animaniacs? Come on.
Okay, I'll go.
Alright. So you've had a lot to drink, huh? Are you gonna make it back?
Keep this party going.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
Sergeant Romero, go ahead, Plaza. All right. So, I like where this class is going. There's a lot of icebergs. Does anyone know what an iceberg is? Sergeant Gutierrez, what's an iceberg?
It's basically, so it's something that is deep rooted in you, something that you believe strongly. So I don't know what you're referring to in here, but basically, you know, your iceberg is, I believe. So my iceberg here is she's out with her soldiers. Seems like she's pretty intoxicated, and they left her behind for whatever reason. You know, if I was out with you know, my NCO and the team, I'd be like, hey, it's time for you to go home. Let's get out of here. My belief is that a team should take care of each other. That's my belief at the foundation.
All right, guys. It's an MRT skill, right? Detecting icebergs. Icebergs are values that we hold dear, right? A lot of us, that's why we get into arguments about politics and religion, because we all have values. What in MRT world we call icebergs, right? So there's a lot of icebergs here. Granted, that's why I took the challenge to be a victim advocate for an infantry battalion, because I'm going to challenge your beliefs and your values when it comes to SHARP. And that's what was happening earlier. Challenging a lot of your beliefs and the way you see things, right? So we're gonna challenge your views. We're gonna challenge your beliefs and icebergs. So what have we seen so far? So we've moved on from the motor pool. Now let's talk about the bar. What have we seen?
Stand up, stand up.
Well, so far it seems like we've seen a setup for some sort of quid pro quo on the part of the sergeant. Setup, but not an actual execution.
Okay. Knowing what you know about SHARP, do you feel that that was a SHARP violation on her behalf or the soldiers' behalf? Who? Yes? No?
It was questionable.
Well, what did you say? Quid
Pro quo.
Is that a SHARP incident?
Yes.
It is defined by the, SHARP regulation. All right, what else have we seen happen? Stand up. Oh, so good. Thank you. So good. What I really like about this video, it's very complex, and unless you're really paying attention, you're not going to pick up on the little things that are happening. Yes, we saw everyone zoned in on the ring come off. Yes, everyone saw the sergeant female, right, make that quid pro quo, right? By definition, that's sexual harassment, right? Okay? But what we didn't focus on, right? Sergeant Gutierrez, what? I'm not. Okay, you're done. Sergeant Gutierrez, what is Teflon and Velcro? We only focus on the bat, right? The bat sticks. Yeah. So what is it again? Negativity bias, right? We're only going to pick up on the bad things, right? So that soldier, the battle buddy, right, did the right thing and stepped in. That happens a lot. I'm going to say that happens 90% of the time. When it comes to these situations, we're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to help out our battle buddy. But when it kicks us in the pants is that 10%, right? That 10%, that 5%, that one incident, right? That one incident that tarnishes a deployment, that tarnishes an organization, okay? So very good on noticing that. What else? Did we see anything else happen? Okay, so you're just pointing it out. You're not saying there is anything like.
I'm saying that it's a sexual harassment cultural problem.
Ooh, deep. Culturally accepted, I would say, right? I like it. Oh, great transition. Thank you. So I got a shirt from a friend, and it says "Skinny Dicks Halfway In." Who's from Alaska? Who knows what I'm talking about? I'm not being inappropriate. I'm naming the name of a business. That's what it's called, right? And yes, I agree with the soldier over there. It's our culture, right? And we're not even talking about the military right now. Let's talk about like in America, right? Our culture, like it's okay to say things like this sometimes, right? Which it transitioned to another question I want to ask you guys. Because that female soldier ordered the, what was it? Ball buster. The ball buster. What is the relevance of that to anything? I want to hear what you guys think about that.
Innuendo.
It's innuendo? In what way? This is so good because you guys don't know where I'm going with all this. How special? So innuendo, it's good, it's bad, what? What do you mean?
Just by ordering that drink around
Means
the guy.
that you can have sex with her and rape her.
No.
Got it.
What? No, you just totally took
No?
that. No.
What does it mean?
It's like,
She was sexually harassing her subordinate soldiers. Got it.
wow, you just strong.
What is it? I don't.
Well, when she orders a drink like that, all of the heads kind of like turn.
Stand up so everybody could hear you.
I would just like,
Tell
a
them.
girl ordered that to me, like ordered it in front of me. I'm like, whoa, what kind of drink is that? It was, you totally took a comment that I made and flipped it around. I didn't say that once. If someone ordered a drink like that, it would catch my attention, and then
In what way?
it says balls is in the name of the drink. I'd be like, whoa, what's that? And then that's what the soldier did. He turned and was like, what was that? And then that whole conversation started.
Anybody else want
Yeah,
to
she
add to
offered
that
to get him the
conversation?
same drink.
I know you're going to give a really good answer, so I'm going to wait. I'm seeing a lot of E4s and below. Can I get some leaders here? Turn gate there.
The fact that she ordered that particular drink or a sex on the beach or anything like that doesn't matter at all. It really doesn't.
Thank you.
Oh, his is okay to say.
I couldn't quite hear everything that she's saying.
It's okay.
With it, it sounded like after she was ordering the drink that she actually was starting to be suggestive with it. That changes the story. But the drink by itself is nothing.
Love it. Oh my God. Can we give him a round of applause? So again, I'm not here to argue with you or to make you agree with me. Whatever. The regs are the regs. Do what you think your lawyer can clear you of and what your rank can afford. By all means, I am not here to argue with you, right? I am not here to do any of that, okay? But I couldn't have said it any better, right? Can I get a sex on the beach? And then I look at Sergeant Gutierrez. I don't want to have sex with him on the beach. I want to see if he's going to make fun of me for wearing that drink. Right? You know what I mean? So, you would what? Oh, okay. Sharp. All right, so good. Okay, we're making progress, guys. We're making progress. And ladies and gentlemen, we're making progress. Okay, hit play.
Sweet.
Man, I don't know about you guys, but that brought me back to being a PFC. That's crazy. Good times. All right, minus that situation with the female. Serious, we used to party, right? Like, don't lie. Like, it's okay. There's nothing. Sharp isn't saying that you can't have a drink and party with your friends. Like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm not telling you that. But with that said, right? With that said, let's be honest here, guys. Let's be honest. Things happen, right? So when we're mobbing, when we're at Primo, when we're in Germany, when we're, right? When we're boots on ground, I don't know, right? Like, there's situations that you're gonna find yourself in. And that's why we talk about it. That's why we point these things out. So, all right. So we talked about the bar scene, she left. What have we noticed now? Alcohol, right? What's the relevance of alcohol to Sharp? Okay, so specialist PFC Pat Note said it impairs your judgment. Do we agree? Okay, what else? You can't consent, that is true. That is true, and I know where this conversation is gonna go. So what did I say about your rank and what your lawyer can do for you, right? Right, said do what your lawyer and your rank can afford. Have at it, by all means. However, we're not gonna argue about being able to consent. You can or you can't. I'm gonna tell you right now, you cannot consent, right? When you're drinking like that, you cannot consent, period. I'm not gonna argue with you. If you guys want to have a federal charge and go to jail, make the argument, but not with me. Make it with your defense lawyer, right? And the prosecutor, not me, okay? You, take Sarmeza's advice. You cannot win that argument. If you feel froggy, by all means, do it, and we'll get you out of the organization into jail. Cool? All right, it's too easy, guys. It's too easy. Like I said, I'm challenging icebergs here. All right, what else have we noticed? A little too much to drink. Okay, what else? Let's not just talk about the female. Let's talk about the whole situation. What else have we noticed?
Two guys left, now there's only two.
Say again?
Two guys left, sir, now there's only two.
Oh, good. Yes. We're digging deep now. What is the relevance of two of the battle buddies leaving? Okay, let's not make it so army and like what? So what? Less accountability? What does that mean? Less witnesses to what? Huh? Man, I had gold stars. I don't have them. So I'm proud. Yes. Right? They didn't address the situation. Right? Remember that whole conversation? I said I wasn't blowing smoke, guys. The whole thing about start not in my squad, at the unit, at the squad level, at the team level, at the battle buddy level, right? Is what Sergeant Proud is talking about. Sergeant Proud, what would you have done in that situation? Honestly. You don't give me a textbook answer. Tell me what you would have done, and we'll talk about it.
Instead of just leaving, you just be like, hey, what did you guys plan on getting her home? Because that could be their room. That's their roommates. And they're just leaving. They didn't even ask them what their plan was. They get how about 5 a.m. I mean, right now.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
So in this situation, though, we see everybody is drinking, not just the female. They all appear to be drinking. And
Can you stand up, sir?
Sorry.
Thank you.
So in this situation, we see that everybody is drinking, not just this woman, but everybody. Can we even trust that these two guys who are as drunk as her might recognize this as a bad situation that they need to question?
No. So
they might be just as drunk
yeah.
as
So
the other two guys.
let me, if I understand your question or comment correctly, you're saying that they may not be able to identify that that's a bad situation because of their impairment stage?
That's
okay. Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. It's yeah, you're making a good point, and that's a good question. It's a very good point. My answer to that is I feel that with the proper training, right, sharp substance abuse, that if you have, and this isn't even like a substance abuse thing, this is just like a battle buddy thing, right? This is like a battle buddy answer. Would you leave your intoxicated friend there?
No.
Probably not. See, and we don't need to go into the weeds, right? We don't need to go into the technicalities of, well, if I had, 8 standard drinks in 3 hours, therefore I am not, by the law, considered able to actively think and make sound judgment so I could walk out of the room, and therefore I am not held. Do you see where I'm going with it? Let's just give it a simple answer and start measuring rules, right? Would I leave my battle buddy in that position? Probably not, right? No. Hey, you should probably get home. I'm not going to babysit you. Let's get you home. You're drunk, right? And that's why we have these trainings, so we could recognize those situations. Not so that you're some superhuman that can operate under the intoxicated level of 0.26, right? That's not what SHARP is trying to train you to do. It's not training you to be a lawyer. It's training you to look out for your battle buddies and have a plan and do the right thing. Can you guys agree with that? Yeah? Okay. Cool. Moving right along. Go ahead. It'll be fine.
I don't know. I just don't feel good.
Well, you can chill here tonight. That's cool.
I think I just want to go home. Stop.
Just relax.
Stop.
Relax.
Please stop. Get off me. Please stop.
18th Infantry Brigade.
All right. So what happened now?
You had a slurred speech.
Say that again?
The female had a slurred speech, so maybe the guys, they couldn't understand her.
See, I didn't even have to go out after that one. You guys got him. Hold on, let's pause real quick. That is the accountability that I'm talking about right there, you guys. That is the accountability. So I heard you say, yes, Sean. Wait. And I'm throwing, we're having a discussion, and relax, I'm not coming after you, right? But you guys see, that's the accountability that I'm talking about, right? That accountability right there, right? What else did we see happen in there? What is happening in the situation?
They planned on it. Yeah.
Ooh, say that again?
They planned on doing it. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Oh,
they ate each other, they closed the door, they didn't even have to say a word to each other.
Yes!
Planned from the bar.
I love it. Thank you, Simon. That was, it was really good. Yes, so they planned it, right? Do you think, and I'll get to you guys, I'll get to your raised hands here in a second. Do you think that you stumble and your clothes fall off and your door closes and then you climax on somebody or do something to them? No, let's be honest. That's not an accident, right? That's not an accident, right? Waiting for friends to leave, waiting for the soldier to be intoxicated, right? I'm giving you the answers now because, time and whatnot, right? Waiting for that person to slur, right? And not be able to say yes or no, not give consent, right?
So, kind of going off of, I don't know who said it, somebody from Alpha. You definitely tell that it was planned because.
Test.
So, her speech is slurred. We've all got that. One thing is theirs is not. So, I mean, they're intoxicated, maybe not as much, maybe so, but they're at least able to form full sentences. They're at least
I'm sorry. Can you summarize that real quick for me? Yeah.
I was saying, they were given a chance in that scenario where, you know, their fellow soldier is in a bad situation. They gave her the choice. They said, "You can stay here if you want." Not a great choice in my opinion. But they said you can. And she replied with, "I want to go home." And that's where they made the mistake. They didn't.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. All right. Good. No, I agree with you 100%. All right, so we're going to watch the rest of the video and we'll talk about it in the end. Hey guys, due to how amazing this class is right now, we're gonna have to pause and we're gonna let some other people breathe, and then we'll come back to it. So let's go ahead and pause it for a second.
This is a really powerful class, and we don't want to skip out on this discussion that you guys get, right? So we have some outside briefers that need to have other time restrictions, so we need to respect their time too. So we're going to come back to this, but keep it fresh in your head. This is good stuff.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Just keep it fresh. We'll come back with the same energy, okay? We're gonna let the other folks set up, and we'll get through their presentations. So just pause it there. All right, let's do this. So first sergeant was he did me a solid. He said I played music for you to pump up the audience because I took the wind out of your sails. So thank you, First Sergeant, for doing that. All right, so we still got a little bit ways to go. I'll try to speed it up. I had some really good conversation with some soldiers back here asking legitimate questions. And what I really wanted to get across to the soldiers, and what I want you guys to take into deployment and for the rest of your careers here, if you never hear another sharp brief again, right, is that do not put yourself in a situation that's beyond a reasonable doubt. Is that fair? Right? I think that's pretty fair. I know it sounds kind of lawyery terms or whatnot, but if it's a questionable situation, just don't be in it. And we can throw this presentation, the 74 slides that involve SHARP, into the trash, and I think we'll be good. When we start splitting hairs, when we start really justifying bad behaviors, I think that's the culture, right? Justification of what we're doing. I think that's what gets us into trouble. So let's keep it beyond a reasonable doubt. If that's what we do, then we'll be all right. All right, so let's go ahead, let's play. I'm sorry, recap. The door closed, sounded like she was getting sexually assaulted, raped, and she left the room, and I think she's calling a victim advocate.
sorry that this happened to you. They had no right to rape you. Now, we will hope that they will be held accountable for their actions. But there's a few things that we must go through, okay? Are you ready? Would you like a victim advocate in this, or do you want to do this on your own? A victim advocate can provide you support. They can be your voice for your chain of command. If you go unrestricted, remember, if you go restricted, then your chain of command does not know. A victim advocate can help you. They can accompany you to your appointments. There's quite a few things that we can do. We can help you get appointments with other people that you might need to see. Then you have the SVC, which is the Special Victims Counselor. His name is Captain Coffee. He will be your lawyer. He will represent you and your interests alone. And then you have, ultimately, if you go unrestricted, you will be going to CID. You will be seeing Special Agent Ryan. He's the sexual assault investigator for this area. And you'll be meeting with him, and you have to give him a detailed account of what happened to you. And the last thing I'd like to offer you is a safe exam. Although it yields great results, but it's intrusive. So that's all these are just options. You can take them all, or you can take some, or you can take none. We're giving you back your choices. This is your choice. We want to empower you. We want to feel like you're in control of your life. The first question is, do you want a victim advocate? Yeah. Okay, so we have a wide variety to choose from. We have male, we have female. You know, you can have, I have a list right here you can choose from, or you can have me. The choice is yours. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. So now the other thing is a safe exam. Would you want a safe exam?
I don't think so.
Okay, again, it's your choice. And so, would you want to go restricted or unrestricted?
Unrestricted.
Okay, are you ready to go to CID?
You can first.
Okay. Well, take it for as much as you need.
You lied to me. You told me you were on lockdown. You've been gone for 45 days. You didn't even come home last night. How much did you drink last night anyways? And where's your wedding ring?
I was raped, and all you care about is how much I had to drink and where my wedding ring is?
I don't even want to talk about that right now.
Do you even care that I was raped by 2 guys?
Look, you have a problem. You drink too much. You know, that's probably what got you raped, is you drinking. Look, if you don't get help, I'm going to take Jesse and leave.
So Stacey, how can I help you?
I'd like to suffer.
All right, so pretty strong stuff in that scene, right? Pretty emotional. What has happened? He attacked her? What do you elaborate?
So instead of trying to understand the situation and be sympathetic to the idea that his wife just got raped, he instantly started attacking her on the idea of lying instead of showing him, understanding the situation.
Yep.
Trying to make her a fault.
Do you know what we call that? Victim blaming. So, which leads me into the conversation that I was having with the soldiers over here right before we started up here again. And I was explaining to them that we were talking about consent, right? And I know it's a very difficult subject or concept for people. Why? I don't understand why. Let me say that. I don't understand why it's a hard concept to understand. Consent. But, you know, wearing a tight dress, showing a, you know, a revealing dress where you can see someone's thong, that person hitting on that other person all night, right? That is not consent, that's flirting, right? That's flirting, good for you, hey, someone likes you, good, right? You know, good, but that's not consent. Neither is a thong, neither is being naked, right? You guys have, I told one of the soldiers over there, there's this picture of me going around on the internet, and it has this girl, she's topless, and she has written on it, still not asking for it, or whatever, right? You know, or says something along those lines, right? It's true, right? Consent is consent. Yes, I want to have sex with you right now. I am sober. This is amazing. You're awesome. Do you consent? Yes. Let's do this, right? Like, that's how life goes on, right? We create children, and you know, people have sexual relations, right? That's why we pass out condoms, right? Sex is okay. Rape is not. Sexual assault is not, right? And when we start looking at those, well, I was drinking and she was drinking, and you know what I mean? That's when you're pretty much playing with your freedom, right? With your life there. There's a question. There's a hand back there.
Sergeant, so my question to you is, with that same exact consent, you know, no drinking, hey, let's do this, we both agree with this. The very next day, she still get up, go to CID, say, hey, I was raped.
Yup.
What's the difference? I mean, where do you go from that with no alcohol?
What's the difference is that the law says if she's intoxicated, that she cannot legally consent. That's the difference. Point blank.
So is it still considered in CID or whoever the investigating team?
It's still going to be handled as a sharp issue. Yes, it will still be handled as that. Now, if that person is found lying, which that does happen, they'll get prosecuted and they'll be held accountable for that. It happens a lot. It does happen. That doesn't mean that being drunk says you consent, because a case once happened where someone lied.
So is that still considered is that still considered sexual assault?
If you're found guilty of sexual assault, then yes, it's considered sexual assault. If you're not found guilty of it, no, it's not. You see what I'm saying? It's a very simple concept. Super easy, you know.
Sergeant, what if both of the individuals were drunk and then afterwards, when they were sober, considered themselves as victims?
Both of them, yeah, that one always gets answered at the victim advocate course. So the situation, if they both felt that they were raped by one another, they both have the ability to report it. So only because you report something doesn't mean it's true, right? Then an investigation happens, then CID gets involved, then victim advocate gets involved, then the special victim counsel gets involved, right? There's a process. Can I tell you the hypothetical answer of the hypothetical they both? I can't, but it would have to play out, right? I can't predict the future on how that situation would play out. But yes, they're both entitled to report sexual assault and rape.
So when alcohol gets involved, it's cut and dry, sexual assault?
No, you're misunderstanding that. Can someone help him out? Sorry. Sergeant Kirby?
Why you pay her help?
If you have a drink and you sleep with someone, you did not rape them. Okay? If someone is intoxicated, you sleep with them, and they report a sexual assault or rape, things are looking very bad for you. Does everyone understand that? It's super simple. It's really good. Thank you, Sergeant Kirby, for taking that up. You guys can calm me down. You know, I'm here all weekend, and I can elaborate a little more. Be on the safe side. What did I say at the beginning of this presentation? Beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you in a reasonable doubt area? Yeah. Don't do it. All right. Press play.
For myself and Lisa. Okay, I see that you brought the Army Substance Abuse Enrollment Form, and your commander has signed it?
Yes, I did. And yes, he signed it. But before we get started, why does my commander have to sign this form? If it's my problem, why does it have to be a commander problem?
Okay, Stacey. So your commander signed the form to show his support for you. He also signed the form so that he acknowledges that there has not been an incident, but he wants you to get the best care that you can.
Editor! Hey, Son Cole, how you doing?
How you doing, First? I'm doing well. How you doing, sir?
Hey, sir, cool. Sergeant Cole, so this case is going to court-martial, is that correct?
It is, sir. It is going to court-martial.
So what's our role now?
Sir, you're to continue to treat her like a soldier. She has been through a traumatic experience, but there's to be no favoritism shown towards her. She still needs to understand that she is still a soldier of the United States Army. She still must come to formation. She still must do her PMCSs. But understand, though, with this experience, there may be times that she may be a little depressed and a little down in the dumps. And at that moment, knowing your soldier is most important because you will be able to tell what is going on. But I want to tell you the main thing that has been distressing this soldier is the rumors.
Damn, Daniel, she back at it again.
Wait. What's her name?
All right. So when a sexual assault occurs, right, and I'm emphasizing a lot on the sexual assault, not so much on sexual harassment, because people are often very confused with sexual assault, as you guys can see, right? We're talking about it. There seems to be some disconnects with that. So sexual assault, I feel we need to emphasize a little more on. Okay, so once somebody is a victim of sexual assault, right, you as leaders, right, and battle buddies, you should highly advise that person not to take a shower, right, not to take their clothes off, anything like that, and change, because they're going to want to. The first thing they're going to want to do after a sexual assault has occurred, they're going to want to shower. They feel dirty, right? They're going to want to clean themselves. They're going to want to burn the clothes they have. Do not do that. If somebody comes to you, if a buddy comes to you and tells you there's been a sexual assault, tell them to stay in the clothes that they're wearing. Do not wash their hands. Do not, clean your genitals, anything like that, because that's all evidence. You heard the lady here, the victim advocate, say something about a safe exam. All right, that's only authorized people are allowed to conduct safe exams, and it's evidentiary, right? You guys have probably seen it on ADN and stuff like that about how we're backed up. All right, so they're going to save all their clothes. You're not going to tell them to shower, and then you're going to try to report it. And you have a couple options. You can go restricted or unrestricted. Not the type of care, but the type of action that you are looking for. If you want this person to be prosecuted for doing what they did to you, allegedly, right? Then it all depends on your reporting options, right? And based off of the restricted or unrestricted is what happens, right? I think she went unrestricted, right? So that's why everybody knows. And it's not because everybody knows, like there's an announcement put out on the blotter, specialist so-and-so got raped and, this is her name, this is her unit, make fun of her. But we all know stuff gets out. It's just, there's no protecting, it gets out, it does. And at some level, the commanders are gonna have to address it. Whether it's at the company level, battalion level, brigade level, you're gonna have to address it. All right. Are there any questions in that whole process there?
Not about the process, it's about medication.
What's up? What do you got, Heinz?
My question is involving, it's related to alcohol and intoxication and mind-altering medication. So for example, you made it very clear that if a person's intoxicated from alcohol, that they're not able to consent. My question is about certain medications, say, for example, something that says do not operate machinery, do not drive. Would a person who is under the influence of said medication be able to legally consent?
No. I mean, no, hold on. I didn't even say anything. I was saying no to your question. It's a loaded question with a lot of assumptions there that you're saying. If you're told to take a Vicodin for knee pain, that doesn't say anywhere, nor does the regulation say anything about you not having the ability to consent or not consent. Okay, that's an assumption and an iceberg that you feel that someone shouldn't, but the regulation doesn't state anything about that. However, if someone is intoxicated or impaired under whatever drug and they do not, pass a common sense level of, I don't know, can someone help me out here? If they're not coherent, I think that argument can be made for that person.
That's what I was asking.
Okay. We good on that one? Okay. Good. Good question. Good question. All right. Any other questions regarding this process? Okay. Next.
I hope they put this on YouTube so I get a lot of hits.
I heard she gave some.
I heard she likes it when jumpers hit it.
The rumors must stop. These are soldiers in your formation calling her a whore. When rumors has it, she was not caught cheating on her husband. She sought help for herself. So as good leaders and good mentors, just tell your formations to stop the rumors. You don't know who it is, she's not pointing fingers, but it has no place in this army, and not in my army, not in my squad.
Sanko, you're right. None of these guys are embarrassing. We will put a stop to this.
I can't believe she has the audacity for sexual harassment.
Yeah, we see. So we gotta put a stop to this. Ready?
Ready.
Ready? 10, who? Basic.
On my command, make a horseshoe around me. Fall out. All right, Bulls, it's been a long field problem. I appreciate all the hard work that you guys put in over the last 45 days. All right, you guys have earned this 4-day weekend that's coming up. I want you guys to be safe. The weather's getting nice. I know we got some motorcycle drivers out here. Make sure you're monitoring road conditions and always being safe. There's one more thing that we need to address. It's been brought to our attention that there is a lot of rumors about one of the paratroopers in this formation. All right, there's an incident going on. We have to squash those rumors right now. There will be an investigation. That investigation will get down to exactly what happened. All right, so please squash all the rumors. Let the investigation play out. First Sergeant.
All right, everyone, how you doing today? Hey, it's been a long field problem, Then recovery came, and then we go on a 4-day weekend. I just want to reiterate what the battery commander just said. Stop any rumors. You might be saying, we have a very good family. You have a very good team. So just squash it, all right? Like I always say, don't embarrass the team, don't embarrass the family, Any questions? All right, fall back in.
Can you believe that? I ain't wait. When all of us knew she was all over you that night, man.
I know, right?
Rape? Just because you got caught cheating on her husband? Shit. So sad. And Sharon Richards, she was all over me that night. Like, oh, she was. The way she was talking about PT. God.
I tell you what though, she deserves what's coming to her.
Try to give me a little extra. I don't need that shit, man. I can do my own stuff. I'm ready to go, man. Yeah, man. It's been about that time, you know. I had a little too much.
Hey, you got the last call?
Alright, let's drink till we can't feel feelings anymore.
Feel this.
Alright, let's go home. Alright. I'm done.
Hey. Hey. That's my wife you're talking about. Sergeant Richards? Why don't you shut the hell up about my wife?
Hey, man, I'll fucking
Get off him! Go. Check. What's going on? Right here. How about your bed?
According to my calendar, April 6th at 15:50. Will that work? Come please. Yes, what can I do for you?
I'd like to file a formal sexual harassment complaint against Sharon Richards.
Ms. Howard, can I please call you back? Thank you.
Righty. Well, I hope you enjoyed your emotional journey that I've brought you on. We're going to wrap this up. All right. So we saw the impact of sexual assault, sexual harassment on a unit. It affected readiness. It affected unit cohesion. It affected morale, right? All from one incident. So you guys know how to do the right thing. You guys know how to get help. You know how to help others. And you know what not to do. Correct? All right. Myself, Sergeant Carlock, and Captain, keep forgetting his name? Captain Kelly are your VAs for the battalion. If you have any questions or concerns between now and deployment, come find us and we will help you the best that we can. All right? Do you guys have any questions for me before we end this out? All right, you guys have been awesome. Thank you very much. I'm all done here.